So here we are, foundation tier paper 2. We are allowed to use a calculator, so that's going to be helpful. So question 1. Circle the expression that can be written as 2y. So we're looking for the expression that is the same as 2y's. Question 2. Circle the decimal that is greater than 3/10 and less than 2/5. So what you need to remember here is what the line in the fraction means. The line in the fraction just means divide. So we can work out 3 divided by 10. Then you can do the same for 2/5, and that'll give you 2 decimals. And then you can see which number is between the 2 decimals. What is 625 as a power of 5? So you're given 5 options here. They're all powers of 5, and you can use a calculator to work out which one gives you 625. Now, as an example, 5 cubed is 5 times 5 times 5. You can do that. Or you could use your calculator's power button, which is going to be 5, and the power button is usually x to the power y. And it's 5 to the power of 3. And that would also work out the answer for you. So you can do that for each of them and see which one gives you 625 as an answer. Question 4. Circle the order of rotational symmetry of this drawing. So what we're looking for is how many, during a 360 degree turn, how many times would this look exactly like this? So to do it, you could trace your shape, put a mark on one of the corners there, and then put your pen in the middle, and you could then turn your tracing paper and see how many positions it looks just like that in a 360 degree turn. Question 5 is just using the calculator. So you've got 3 to the power 6. So again, you could do 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. You could work that out. Or you could do it by doing 3, use your power button, 6. They would work out that first part, they'd work out 3 to the power 6. Then you've got to take away the square root of 841. So you can just work that out on your calculator, and you take away the 2 answers. Question 6. Gemma has 4 groups of friends on a social media site. The table shows the number of friends in each group. So she has 8 in family, 8 friends in netball, 8 friends in 26 friends in secondary school, and 11 friends in guides. So which group is the mode? If you remember the rhyme, hey diddle diddle'em, the median's the middle un, you add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one that occurs the most. We can stop there because the mode is the one that occurs the most. So which group is most popular is what it's looking for. Gemma wants a pictogram to show the information. She's drawn the first 2 rows. Complete the pictogram. Remember to complete the key because that's going to be worth a mark. So family has got 2 circles in it, and that's representing 8 people. Netball has got 2 circles, and that's representing 8 people. Now, given that we know that 2 circles represents 8 people, you'll be able to find out what number goes here, because you can find out how many people 1 circle represents. When you've done that, you can draw circles to include 26 people for school and 11 people for guides. And you will need to use fractions of a circle there. You'll need to use halves or quarters or 3/4. And just make it clear when you're drawing your fractions of a circle. Question 7. E is 3 more than D. F is 5 less than D. So write an expression for E in terms of D. So we're told that E is 3 more than D. So if we start with D, E is 3 more than that. So E is D plus 3. So you can now try doing part B. Write an expression for F in terms of D. So start off with D, and and F is 5 less than D. So you can finish that answer for question B. Then you have to work out E take away F. So you've got to do this, take away this, and be very careful with the negatives when you do that. Question 8. Numbers 1 to 12 are put in a grid. 2, 4, 5, 7, 10 and 12 are already put on the grid. Each of the 4 sides of the grid must add up to 26. So this has to add to 26. This has to add to 26. So does this. And so does this. So that's what we're aiming to do, make all the sides add up to 26. We have to complete the grid using these numbers, and this is important because when I've marked this, quite a few people have used numbers twice, they've used different numbers. You have to use the numbers they give you there. Now the starting point is going to be this square here, because we've got 3 of the numbers in that row, in that column. So we can find out what number needs to go there. Now 12 and 17 is 19. Add 4 gives you 23 so far. So if the total so far is 23 and it has to be 26, we can put a 3 in there. And when we've done that, we can now cross the 3 off here because we've used that. And that leaves us with this square, because we now have 3 numbers on this top row. So 5 and 3 is 8, and 10 gives us 18. It's got to add up to 26 altogether. So what would you add to 18 to get 26? Well, you'd be adding 8. So 8 has got to go in there, and we can cross 8 off our list. Now you've got to fit in the next numbers, you've got to fit these in so as 1, 6, 9 and 11, they're the ones that are left, have got to fit in these 4 spaces here. And you've got to make sure that each row, so this row here, has got to add up to 26, and this one here has got to add up to 26. So just arrange those numbers so as you get the right answer. Well, I think something to do is to say, well, I know that these here, these 3 have got to add up to 16, because that's 10, these must be 16. We know that this one and this one, well, that adds up to 9, which means that these 2 have to add up to 17 altogether. So that might help you. Question 9. We're given some facts. We're told that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. We're also told that 1 inch is equal to 2.5 centimetres. We have to change 5 feet and 8 inches into centimetres. Your first step is going to be to change 5 feet into centimetres. Sorry, not into inches first. So 5 feet into inches. Well, if 1 foot is 12 inches, we've got 5 feet, so you have to times it by 12, which will give you 60, which means that we've got 60 inches here, and another 8 inches means we've got 68 inches. Now I'm going to leave you with the job of converting that 68 inches into centimetres, and every 1 inch is 2.5 centimetres. But it's a calculated paper, so that shouldn't be too difficult. Which of these numbers has exactly 4 factors? Circle your answer. Well, we need to find the factors of each of these numbers. So I'll give you an example. I will find the factors of 12. So the question you ask yourself is, does 1 go into 12? Well, yes, it does. And how many times does 1 fit into 12? 12 times. There's a pair of factors that make 12. So does 2 go into 12? Yes, it does. How many times does it go in? It goes 6 times. There's another pair of factors. Does 3 go into 12? Yes, it does. How many times? 4. So that's a pair of factors. Does 4 go into 12? Well, yes, it does, because we've already written it down. So we're finished now. We've got all our factors of 12. So that's not the right answer, because we want to circle the answer that has exactly 4 factors.